Hi guys, it's Magic Made Easy here, and before we start, I just wanted to apologize really quick. I know I took a bit of a break, really big break actually, but there was some stuff that came up in my life that I wanted to make absolutely certain I had under control, and now that that's over with, I can get back to making videos, and hopefully I can get back to educating you guys and teaching you a little bit about magic. So today, I figured with my comeback, I would teach you guys one of my favorite moves, something that I like to use. It adds a little bit of style, a little bit of flair, and it's as a bonus, it's useful as a utility tool if you do it fast enough. We're going to be learning one very quick cut, which is it works like this. I'm just going to show it. And that's well and good, but the benefit of this cut works like this. We have the deck in new deck order. I'll do the cut one more time and I'll show you something awesome about it. So, ready? And we're still in new deck order. That was kind of sloppy. Sorry about that. These cards are getting a little old. I'll have to update those in just a little while. But leave a comment down if you want to see me demonstrate a specific deck, or if you want to see something done with certain cards, or if you just want to see a trick in particular. I can hopefully break it down for you if you've been having difficulty learning it somewhere else. So, right into the learning aspect. This is an easy cut, believe it or not. It doesn't take a lot of skill. It does take a bit of practice. Once you get the moves down, it should pretty much flow perfectly. It shouldn't be too overly taxing, and it's not finger breaking by any means. It just takes a little bit of comfort with your cards, and you'll be able to do that. Surely in just a little bit. We're going to adjust the camera angle up just a little bit here, just like that. That way you guys have a better viewing angle, and we're going to launch right into it. So this is a 3-packet cut, all right? And it is a false cut, which means that the cards will not change order when you do it. However, it can look very convincing if you do it correctly. And it can look very convincing to the untrained eye because there's a lot going on. It can be very confusing. There's a lot of moves which flow into each other. So to someone who is not expecting a cut like that, it can look perfectly like a normal cut, like the cards were genuinely changed in position. But once you practice, you'll know quite a bit better. So the first move that you're going to want to learn how to practice is this move. You're going to want to learn how to break off sections of the deck. The way I like to accomplish this is I like to hold my deck in biddle grip, just like that, or you can see how we've got the back thumb supporting it, and we have these fingers up here. Usually it works like this, but I like to put my pinky here just for a little bit of extra support. Sometimes I throw it off. It depends on how I'm feeling. But you grab with your index finger, just like that. You break off any section. Try to get about a third of the deck. That's going to help you out later. A little bit more, a little bit less is fine. It doesn't matter. Just try to avoid the situation where you break off something like this, a very, very small amount of the deck, because what can happen is you can actually cause warping on the cards and it ruins the effect. So, once you get that break, you lift it up, and then you try to swing it out as far as you can so it clears this section of your hand, right? And we've got a nice big option to grip. Now, you come over with this hand, and you grab the cards, right? You take them out of your hand, just like that. And if you notice, if you see my index finger down here, it's rolled, which is going to assist this next motion. So, right now, the cards are face down. This next motion is what makes part of this false. You're going to grab another section, usually about half the remaining cards, or almost all of the remaining cards, depending on how you want it to look. I usually like to take somewhere around about a third to 2/3 of what's going on with your pile, depending on how much you took in the first section. You're going to swing that off just like you did the last time, and this is why it's important to have this huge gap here. You're going to take these cards, and you're going to actually use the rolled up index finger down here you're going to rotate the packet, and you're going to grab it with your other fingers so that it goes and it flips the other way. And then when you grab the other packet, you're going to grab it with these two fingers, with your index and thumb, but you're also going to slide that packet in between these two. And now, this is where it gets interesting. The way I like to do this is I like to press up with these bottom fingers, but what you've effectively done is you've made a trap with these cards, where you have these cards upside down with their faces revealed, in between two planes of cards, and you can actually shift it around just a little bit like that. You can see you can go up, down. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clear the bottom section of that packet. You're going to want to push it over with that top section, with the one in your deckhand, and you're going to just push it back down. That way it lands face up back on top of that packet. Now, the next step is a little bit flashy, but it's semi-important to what you need to do. You're going to rotate the cards just like that. And how that breaks down is like this. What I like to do is I like to take my fingers and I just kind of rotate my whole hand, and then I transfer to here so it shows the faces. I grab this corner and I just rotate it down so it transfers. And from this position you'll be able to do the next move. When you go and you rotate down just like that, you're going to grab, and these cards under here, you're going to push up with your index finger. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a little T. And as you go through with this T, it's going to create that interaction. So, breaking it down from this position, you've got your finger right here. You go, it's all contacted, everything's good. You go, you grab here, and you rotate. And as you rotate, it'll go break through once again, just like the last move you did, and it's going to land on top. And what you end up with is the deck in the exact same order as you had it before. Now, I have it in new deck order, so it's easier to see with the alternating red-black, but you can use this to preserve card orders. You can use this to preserve stacked decks. You can make it look like you're cutting the cards, and combined with a false shuffle, you can make it look like you've completely ruined the order of cards, and it can be very convincing if set up right. It also looks very stylish when it's done at high speeds, so it's good for throwing a little bit into, maybe a little bit of cardistry, so to speak, into a routine. Depends on what you want to do with it, really. There are better false cuts out there, I'm not going to lie. But this is a great one to use if you are getting into Magic and you just want to start with it, while simultaneously trying to add something that looks a little bit cooler to your roster. One more time, we're going to break this down at high speed, and then I'm going to do it once more slowly so you can follow along with the steps. All right, so you go and you do it like this. Now, once more, very slowly. That way you get all the steps, right? Break, spread, grab, second position. Break, rotate, grab, flip. And if you need to at this point, just kind of square them up just a little bit. They don't have to be perfect. Just a little bit so it's not crazy and unmanageable, right? Rotate, grab, spin, flip. And your deck is going to be in new deck order, or whatever order you've had it in. So, with that, that is just one of the many false cuts that you can do. This is probably one of the more easily seen false cuts, but it works quite well. Under most laymen, I've had people swear that I just threw in a lot of nice card moves and it added to the experience, and I asked them, well, do you genuinely believe, would you agree that these cards have been sufficiently cut? And they said, oh yeah, definitely, I saw them get cut, I swear. So it's semi-reliable, but don't expect somebody who's seen a lot of Magic to be fooled by it, because they'll just go, oh, nice passes, things like that. All in all, it is a very beautiful piece of work. It takes a bit of skill, like I said, but once again, it's nothing knuckle busting. It's not going to be really knacky that you have to do. It's just going to be something that you've got to get the feel for, and it does teach some good principles for other false cuts and other moves in card magic that you're going to need if you want to progress further. So, having said that, I think that's everything that you'll need in order to perform this false cut. If you guys liked this, feel free to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Do whatever you need to do. Beyond that, if you guys want to see anything produced from me, if you guys want to see me do a specific trick or break down a specific move, mention it in the comments or send me a direct message, and I'll be sure to get right on top of that. All right. I hope you guys enjoy using this in your routines. I hope you guys enjoy practicing it. And if anything was unclear, just mention it down in the comments. You guys have a wonderful day.